Hi guys, welcome back. We're just out testing the TSE 300. Got a race this coming weekend, so it's Monday today. Just had a fantastic weekend. Excuse me. Yeah, my friend Tino came up from Germany and we went to Bamborough Castle up in the northeast there, and then the Super Enduro as well on Saturday night, and then yesterday we had a great afternoon out in York. A couple of drinks, as you know how it goes. But I've just taken him to the airport this morning, and I'm just out now on the bike, just giving the bike a bit of a rundown, because since I've done the top end, this is the first time the bike has been out, so we need to have a ride on it, make sure everything's hunky-dory before next Sunday's race at Staunton Quarry, which is round 4 the British Extreme Enduro Championship. I'm taking part in the morning race in the over 50s class. But what I want to talk about as well today is I'm just testing a new microphone. I'm testing a DJI Mic 2, which I've got cable tied into my helmet. Now, I wore this on the last time I was out riding on the TSE 250, and I've learned quite a bit since then about how the microphone works. And what we're doing today is I've actually brought the receiver with me, which you can see in front. I don't know if you can see with the sun the audio level going up and down there, and I've got the setting on -12 decibels because the microphone is so close to my mouth. I found that the last time I used it, occasionally it was the noise was getting a bit blown, the gain was too high, and yeah, the audio wasn't the best. So today we're going to have a rethink and a retest to see how it goes. So I've just come down, just done one lap of the field here. A great little testing area, but I am going to be giving this field up this year. I've outgrown it basically. I do have a lot of other places to ride locally now, and with the farmer putting crops in as well, it just makes things a bit awkward. And he's taking the fence out, so the gate is it's not secure anymore for me to ride here. Chances are, if somebody sees me riding, they'll think they can come and ride as well. So I'm going to have to give it up. Because, yeah, like I said, there are other places that I do ride locally in a bit of a trail ride, shall we say. Never stopping at the same place any longer than sort of 5 minutes. It's just generally riding through areas. And, you know, a lot of the times when I go out solo riding now locally, it's very early morning, so I'm not interfering or impacting on anyone, you know, with dog walkers, cyclists, all that sort of thing. So I'm getting my riding in, but it's very early, and now the summer's coming. We're sort of now into the 4th of March today. The daylight hours are getting earlier, so my riding time will become earlier, and hopefully sort of by midsummer I'll be out like at 5 o'clock in the morning and getting done by sort of 9 o'clock, 9:30, and be able to do other things during the day. So we're gonna have a bit of a ride around the track, and we'll see where this ride takes me this afternoon for the next sort of couple of hours. Let's do it. So I can put that back in my bag, the receiver there, just making sure we're on -12. And there's 14 hours of recording. Now, the beauty of this microphone is it's got its own built-in memory, so you can back up your audio from, you know, to any camera and sort of post-edit. So you can set it on record. I've got it sorted so I know when I'm recording and when I'm not recording. So we're recording at the moment, so if I hit the button and it buzzes, I know it's off. Hit the button again, I know it's back on. So I've got to keep an eye on the sequence, or I just take the receiver out and just check the receiver to see if there's a red square, and that tells me we're recording. So we've got audio from the GoPro plus audio backed up on the microphone. So when I get back later, what I'll probably do is, to get rid of all this wind noise that we've got at the moment, is just remove the audio from the GoPro footage and overlay the audio from the microphone, which has got the windsock on, which will be a lot better. So let's get going. Now this place is a little bit overgrown at the moment, so I'm not going to be stopping down here long. The torque of a 300 is absolutely awesome. You think about the 250, well it's actually a 230, the GPX 250 and this bike, they are chalk and cheese, so people ask me which is best. They're both good at what they do, to be honest. One's less maintenance in terms of piston changes, etc. And one's a bit more high maintenance, but you got more performance. But they're both equally as good in their own sort of, usage. So I'm not going to go up this one because it's just really overgrown, so I'm just going to do a couple little bits and bobs here. And then we'll head out probably to one of my other play areas. And the good thing is I'm road legal. Which makes all the difference. So you guys who don't have licenses and stuff, you really are missing out. I mean, some aren't bothered, they'll ride whatever, but some of my mates, and they know what I'm talking about, need to get the test passed. Woohoo! Nice little bit of front end left then. I do prefer the slower technical type riding with this bike. Very forgiving. Yeah, I need to get out of here because it's just overgrown. And I'll tell you a nice little story actually today. Let's go elsewhere. Cheers. So yeah, we just left that last area because of the dog walkers. The thing is, leaving things late now, like the farmer's out in the field there, so I don't want to piss him off. Otherwise, if it'd been early morning, I would have spent a few minutes up and down this lane. I'm quite happy actually. So we'll just move on to the next point. So we've just come to a quiet area. I'll put it off a second. I hope the audio's okay. But when you just think you've got something pretty well dialed in, and I think I've got this touch and go carb pretty much on the money now. Sometimes you just need somewhere. I mean, the field's waterlogged for one, but somewhere different to ride and just experiment and take your time and just make slight adjustments with stuff. And I've just been slightly adjusting the meter rod, just backing it off a little bit. I just thought it were a little bit rich because on some of the road sections getting here, there was that, like stutter at that like 1/8 throttle sort of area. And I think I've sort of got rid of that quite a lot now. For just nice to play on stuff like this as well. I mean, on the hill. Got so much confidence in this bike. It's nice to sort of play on some of the downhill sections and testing stuff. In the early days of this carburetor, the downhill sections, quite obviously it was too rich, so it was stalling on the sort of long downhill sections. Now I think we're pretty good. But I had a bit of a story to tell you, didn't I? You know, every now and again, you get a little bit of a pick-me-up. And I feel quite happy today, because I think I've made a bit of a difference to somebody. And just before Christmas, we had a customer come into the shop up at Eurotech to look at a second-hand bike, and it was you know, like a 2018 TPI with only 50 or 60 hours on it, but it looked a bit tired, and it was like £5 grand. And the customer had a look at it, I had a look at it, and the bike needs some work. It needed, you know, the usual sort of service stuff, chain sprockets, brake pads. They were going rusty in places, and I said to him, I says, "We've got a bike upstairs, one of these GPX TSE 300s, brand new, 5695 on the road." I said, "Go have a look at it. You've got to make a decision what you want from a bike." I said, "You know I've got one. There's plenty of information out there about the bikes. Go have a look at it. I think, you know, we've got 2 left. We had 2 left at that time. This was just before Christmas. Anyhow, came into the shop the day after Boxing Day. Oh, sorry, 2 days after Boxing Day. And unbeknown to me, he'd spoken to my colleague Nick and arranged to buy one of these 300s. Bit of a slip of the clutch there, 4th gear. Yeah, so bear in mind, these 2 300s, I'd not had any input on them at all in terms of, you know, when they were delivered to the shop and they've been built up. Somebody else had built them up. Well, you know, an employee who's no longer at Eurotech had built the bikes. So I didn't know anything about them, what had been done sort of PDI wise or anything like that. So customer came into the shop and were there to pick the bike up straight away 2 days after Boxing Day, and I'm thinking, I could have done with a bit more notice to make sure the bike was 100% before the customer took it away. Anyhow, customer was like a kid in a sweet shop, as he would be, and took the bike away. I said, "Just see how we go with it." I said, "You're going to have to make some carb adjustments. See how you go." Anyhow, it didn't really have a right good experience, because got something in my mouth then. The bike didn't run properly for him, and I gave him some advice on the jettings as he had turned. Again, he still couldn't get things right, so he brought the bike back week before last, I think it was. Yeah, week before last, for us to look at. And you know, honestly, I was disappointed for that lad. I really were disappointed for him, and because his experience hadn't been great in terms of, you get a brand new bike for Christmas and it's not working properly. So I'd have been fed up as well with the job. But, you know, a bit of reassurance, and looked at the bike, did me and Nick, and we ended up changing the carburetor. Put a different carburetor on because it was a faulty carburetor. Set it up as I initially told him, with the needle and the jets, and he went out on it on Sunday, I think, and he were really happy with it, really happy. And it's just nice. This morning, I've got a nice message off him saying thank you for setting the bike up. He's still got a few things to sort out, like his suspension. He wants some heavier springs in and things, and I think he just needs a bit more carb adjustment as well. He said when he were going downhill, it was cutting out but I think that's a sign, like I say, it's over-rich slightly, so he probably wants his air screw adjusting there. But otherwise, he's absolutely over the moon with the bike, and that had just given me a bit of a lift. You know, after the weekend I've had as well, I've had a really good weekend with my mate Tino from Germany, and getting that message this morning, it just gives you a bit of a buzz, doesn't it? And that's what we like. We like to keep customers happy at Eurotech, really do. And I'm out now having fun on my bike and enjoying myself, regardless of what bike I'm on, whether it's my KTM or whether it's my GPX